Okay, hello. So we're back. Bunny's Terra. Let's see. Let's see what we can get. Um, Again, I'm not gonna be doing actual pick a cards for a while. I don't think. I think I'm just gonna kind of stick with channeling. See where we can go, what we can get. Specifically, I am getting 369. So a lot of like what you put out will come back to you. The dirt you do. You know what I mean? That's up to you. She got bars. Also, I heard raise the bar, not only for yourself, but the people around you. If they don't meet that bar expectation, then why are they around? You know what I mean? Um, okay. So, specifically, a lot of what I've been picking up on is ego work. A lot of ego work, a lot of working with our shadows, kind of taking things slowly and looking at them in a different light and kind of playing with it, if that makes sense. Um, Another thing, because like right now in this moment, I'm being drawn in like 15 different directions. So again, with the take it slow, kind of stop and calm yourself, breathe, so that you can kind of leap forward without being completely distracted by everything. And that's another thing with the raise your standards. Understand what you're willing to be distracted by, how those things distract you and bring you outside of yourself, so that you can come back, and whenever it does happen, you can realign yourself. Okay. Also, have your little attitude problem. Okay, I'm telling you now, have a little attitude. You're allowed to have an attitude. It's not for no reason, obviously. But if you feel like some ain't right, 222, and you feel like you need to speak up against something, then, like, obviously, like, as kindly as you can, speak up against it. You have a voice, use it. You have a brain, use it. I feel like, yeah, that's the biggest thing we're kind of working on is, like, boundaries within ourselves and, with other people, how much you're willing to let people cross the line, and, if you're willing to just burn the bridge. Um, Obviously don't burn the bridge with other people on it, but, oh, that's interesting. Um, Also, don't be so empathetic towards other people that you hurt yourself. And see, burn the bridge, so much fire. A lot, yeah, definitely a lot about passion, understanding the things that do make you passionate, the things you're willing to fight for. Um, and then I heard play it by ear, 324. Another thing, okay, so with play it by ear, I did kind of get, like this energy of things mirroring, um, playing it by ear but not being able to speak, so no one can hear you to be able to play it by ear. Um, but again, mirroring, not kind of seeing the little things being mirrored to you throughout like your life or your day or whatever as like a bunch of little fires. Just see it as like the fire of yourself, and how, because we're not trying to conquer that fire, we're trying to understand that fire so that we can speak truth into it. Specifically, I heard 411 on the time, 1131. um because that's all we want to do. We just want to speak truth, not only inside of ourselves, what our truth is, understanding our truth, and again with the whole boundaries thing, that's going to help you understand um, your truth a little bit more. And then I heard quantum jump. Yeah, it'll help you quantum jump into the next level of stability within yourself, because there seems to just be little fires. And then I'm getting like the song Weeds, not the song, the show Weeds, little boxes full of ticky tackies. um yeah. So, like, what boxes aren't you checking? What boxes have you been ignoring? What boxes are you putting yourself into? Um, wow. Okay. Yeah, so that's the biggest thing I think. Spirit just really wants us to have a better footing within ourself, our boundaries. Specifically, I did hear if you gossip a little bit. I'm the type of person, I have like no vices anymore. I quit drinking, I quit smoking, like I don't have that many vices, so my vice is like gossiping. Like within reason, because like I don't want to gossip about anybody and just be like negative and nasty, but like if I can watch Love is Blind and like gossip about the psychology of these people, I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? But like I genuinely, and even if I gossip too much, I'm like, okay, that's a little bit too much. I feel bad now. This is just a person, you know what I mean? Um yeah, and then I heard being able to look yourself for like all of the cold, dark, ugly truth that you are. Um and I think that's very important, being able to see it for what it is and being stable in this idea like, hey, yeah, it's dark, cold, and ugly, but like, hey, at the end of the day, I came out of it and I did the best that I could with what I had. Back to facing it. Um, and then specifically like the elbow, funny bones, like, you know what I mean? Um, I'm not 100% sure what that one's about, but, um, okay, so I heard one disconnect. Okay, so that's exactly what that is. Um, Negative self-talk, self-deprecating jokes, things like that. So like even with gossiping, we gossip because we feel discomfort, right? We gossip because we either feel discomfort within ourselves or because and like this is just an example, right? Or because we feel discomfort with the way somebody else is, right? So if we either like make jokes about them, which like let me make it clear, whenever I gossip, I don't gossip to just make fun of anybody. Like no, that's not it for me. Um but you know, it's like this idea that it's going to bring us comfort and more stability within ourselves because like, oh, this person is this way, so like we're better because of this and that, you know what I mean? I really hope that came out like in a way that made sense. um but to disconnect from this idea that this thing is going to like help us bring us comfort, again, take what resonates, how it fits, whatever. um that this thing is going to bring us comfort and realize how it is really draining us and how it's helping us be self-deprecating. um because that's something a lot of people like do, and I that's something that is very hard for me because I constantly see how self-deprecating other people are, and like I'm not gonna lie, like I have people pleaser tendencies, and that may be something that you want to work on. um is that like if I see someone not being kind to themselves, I will be like, no, like okay, let's have like positive self-talk, let's do this and that instead of this and that, so that we can kind of like reconnect to the genuine truth of us instead of this idea that society has for us that put us in this box to begin with. um Set fire to the world's POV. um Also reconsider what your perspective is in your journey. um and not only what your perspective is, what your perspective gains you, um, and how what perspective you need to attract the things you truly want, and not attracting anything out of lack, right? Um, uh, no, and then I heard like, which I'm being silly right now. I heard he broke, I'm up. You know what I mean? Which is like whatever, but see, even that, it's this idea that I have to put somebody else down to ensure my security. Does that make sense? And then I heard another thing, um, not that long ago, where somebody was like, oh, if you have like the answer to the game, if you have the keys to the game, you sell the key to the game. And like, I was just like, no, you don't sell the key to a game, 1101. You don't sell the key to the game because the key to the game is like necessary for survival, right? So why would you profit off of that? Why would you capitalize off of that whenever you could just give out of the kindness of your heart? You know what I mean? And that's like the shadow of humanity right there. Fully the shadow of humanity, and like, you know, we don't treat human beings like human beings. We treat each other like we're meant to just bend to each other's will. And 1133, like we're 1138, 1138. Things are lining up, babe. We treat each other like we're just meant to bend to each other's will, and that's not what we're supposed to use our will for. Because what are you using your will for? Are you being willful? Because if you were full of your own will, you wouldn't have to use your will for not great things, okay? We got a brain. Again, what are you giving yourself to? In the color red, so like passion, 1212. And then I did hear lust too, so like lustful behavior is kind of like, whatever, no shame, but always be safe for yourself, be safe for other people, yeah. And then the number 19. And then I'm hearing the song Steely Dan, Hey 19, one of my favorite freaking bands, dude, let me tell you. Look it up. Speak your freaking mind. Oh, don't silence me, bitch. Speak your fucking mind. Don't let nobody silence you. Yes. And don't, same thing like on TikTok, how you have to like, why are we so, I don't even have the word right now. I don't even have the word for it. Number 13, 369 again. Why do we have to like silence these nasty words whenever they're just words for like truth? You know what I mean? Why are you silencing your truth? Why? Because it rubs people the wrong way? Okay. Fuck that. Literally. Spirit said, fuck that. Rub people the wrong way. And then the song H by Tool, I should have cried. I could have died. I should have cried. Literally. That's another thing. Why are we silencing literally just words? Because it, and like I'm a person, like I can get triggered pretty easily, so I understand trigger warnings, but we don't even say specific words anymore, and it's fucking weird. But also, you having love for yourself, like genuine love and appreciation for yourself, is you speaking up for everything that you believe in. And that's another thing why Spirit wanted you to take another look at your perspective so that you could kind of realign with your truth. And that's something I've even had to do recently. You know, a little bit of a lore dump, not gonna lie. I rule of thumb, rule of three, rule of thumb, all of that. But what I was gonna say is 1441, 41 on the time, 1141 on the time. So I don't know if anybody like on here knows this, but like I'm an addict. I have been sober for a while now. And I like growing up, I like was in an extremely abusive relationship, and because I was in that abusive relationship, and like I had to get myself out of it, like I didn't really have help getting out of it. Um, and like I was doing my shit, whatever. It wasn't like a great time, but because of 2442, but because of like I didn't want to be that person that was just like the domestic violence advocate. As much as I advocate, I didn't want to just be that. Like, I didn't want that, my abuse from, like, my abuser to be attached to my name forever, right? Um, and that's something I had to realign with, is understanding, like, hey, you have this, like, crazy fucking will to, like, help people, so why wouldn't you do it in every way other than just tarot? You have the mind to be able to advocate for domestic violence survivors, for people with addiction, so why wouldn't you do that, regardless of how it may make other people perceive you? Um, and I just heard I needed that. So, but like seriously, how am I going to deny any bit of my truth for somebody that it could like genuinely help? Um, yeah, so that's the tea. But seriously, um, I do think, let me try to kind of get the energy back because this is fucking iffy right now. Um, but yeah, Caterpillar. Um, Another thing I do want to say, I don't know if I said it in the last one, which, like, yeah, I did delete, like, all of my videos. I had a girly pop moment. I had to get rid of everything and just become new. Um, you have options. The number one, um, you choose how you're perceived. Like, not necessarily, but you are. You choose how open you are to people. You make a choice on how you let other people perceive you and receive you. Um, and how you perceive and receive yourself. And if you aren't really aligning with your truth, and 7 times 7 equals 49, the square root of 49 is 7. Um, I love when spirit just like brain powers me up, like. But seriously, and another thing I do want to say is don't let like outside people or like your family tell you who you are, because half the time they don't even know who the fuck you are. 1812. Um, okay. Okay. Don't get distracted. I'm trying not to get distracted, so you can't get distracted either, okay? Thanks. Whatever, bro. Whatever, bro. Um, as I'm getting distracted. Okay. So one thing I did pick up on is like back to reflection, back to more intimacy with your reflection. Um, like yeah, everything on the outside world is like a reflection in a mirror of you. That doesn't mean you can't hold people accountable, though. Let me say that. That doesn't mean you don't hold people accountable just because they're a reflection of you. That doesn't mean you let people treat you however they want to treat you. 46 and 2 by Tool. Yes, I will quote any Tool song any day of the week. Okay, this is like really specific for no reason. Like Spirit said, no, bitch. You have to look for something specifically. So the song was from 1996. That's specific because I've been channeling 19s, 16s, mirroring, reversed, flipped, everything for like months now. Um, But 46 and 2, the song is about like a genetic code being activated. 2002. And then I heard O'Darby's. And then I'm being brought back to a channel I had a long time ago, like last March. About like a silver penny. 2020. A silver penny 2020. Hindsight is 2020. But it's like a silver penny, and in like World War II, I think they started making silver pennies or copper pennies. One or the other was seeing it was a different material than the normal material that they use. And then there's like a silver penny bar somewhere in like Europe. I don't. I just work here, okay? My shadow, change is coming. Now is my time. Listen to my muscle memory. Contemplate what I've been clinging to. 46 and 2 ahead of me. Chills. Okay. And someone's ancestry might be like European. European. No, I'm so serious. But they do want you to, that specifically, I think there's a, which like obviously whatever you choose is like up to you. But I think there's a lot of like distance, with specifically white people and their ancestry that they kind of need to like which sounds, I'm like half white, okay? Let me say that. I'm half white, and I can say even like me connecting to my white ancestors, I am distant with them. So, you know, if I don't know what that's about right now, but 2202, ancestors love you and are here. So like that might specifically be for somebody that is white and has white ancestors from there. Whatever. Oh my god. Trust yourself. So like, yeah, me trusting myself. Okay. Hold on. So specifically, I'm hearing like the dynamic within yourself, the dynamic that you have with the world and with your family. And this is specific for somebody. There needs to be a different understanding of what you're meant to do in this world. You have like a deep ancestry of witches, and they're like clocking shit right now. They need you to like come back to it and do the work. And you've probably gotten messages about that, and again, this is for someone really specific, and I hate doing specific messages like so open, but they do want you to know exactly what you're worth, and the fact that like you need to connect back to your ancestry and your past lives. And it's gonna be kind of hard. 2332, even though I didn't see it that way, but I saw it that way. See. Yeah, they said let them in. They said they're not scary. Let them in. But they do really want you to focus back on your intuition and like connect back to your soul, not just like the outside version of you, and specifically what your family is. Not my business. Not my business, bro. The nurse who loved me, a perfect circle. Give yourself grace. Another thing, just a perfect circle in general. Great band. My bad. Oh, but that's kind of a part of it too. The fact that, so, the dude who, has the song 46 and 2 and like, H, Tool, he has 3 different bands, right? The other band is a perfect circle. And that's important. So like, if you want to go listen to them, I highly recommend it. I love that man. I love that man. But, that specifically, you're supposed to care about that. Literally, I got 2 messages that like listening to this is going to be very important. And The Patient by Tool. And I was also thinking about it, and then we have 369, you were safe and protected. But I was thinking about it, how, like, oh, name 3 songs from this band. Okay, I can name the entire discography of Tool and A Perfect Circle. Don't try me, bitch. I can name all of it. Oh, but that also is connected to, like, spirituality. Same way, like, you trust me as a reader to know what the fuck I'm talking about and to give, like, guided messages. You also gotta know what the fuck you're talking about, you know what I mean? And it's just like, why? Why? But, like, you see exactly why. Love Thy Enemy, addiction peaking. Okay. So specifically what I'm picking up on is whenever you 555, whenever you're about to make like a great change in your life, little things will start coming up to like kind of throw you off. For me, for a long time, that was my addiction, or like exes. I'm just a girl. But no, seriously. So like whenever I would start doing great in my life, my ex would try to come back into my life, or I would fall off and like go on a bender or something. We love alcoholism. No, we don't. Don't alcohol. um, but seriously. Or another thing is, to get to that point where you can have that outbreak and that reach, like, to get where you need to be, you do have to put some shit down. Regardless if that actually is addiction, that could be an addiction to people, places, things, like drinking too much coffee. Sometimes they're just asking you to not drink coffee. Just to fast some coffee for like 5 seconds so that you can show them that you have dedication to your journey. That could be like dyeing hair. It can literally be anything. Even just like not being patient or gossiping, or not being open, not speaking up for yourself. Also, how you speak up for yourself and how you protect yourself is important. You know, you can speak up for yourself and do all of this, but if you're doing it in an aggressive way, then like automatically your integrity and your what you're saying is like out the window at that point. But another thing is, a whole other thing is, integrity matters. Something and I don't mean to gossip, but I'm gossiping. Tea. I am gossiping a little bit. I've seen a lot of readers kind of fall under this idea of capitalism. Like, and we're spiritual workers. This is a serious job. As much as people, oh, it's just cards. No, like, I'm playing with energy. Like, you know what I mean? I'm playing with energy. This shit is serious. So a lot of people, like, take time, especially on TikTok. Oh, this is my time to, like, do my TikTok shop. And while I'm doing my TikTok shop, I'm also going to give you a reading. That's lack of integrity, in my opinion. Or, like, links to outside websites so that they can make their buck. I'm not saying don't make your cash. What I'm saying is you are ruining the integrity of readings, if that makes sense. Also, another thing is, how much are we willing to break ourselves down mentally, physically, and spiritually in order to fund capitalism whenever it doesn't benefit us? And obviously, as a society, there's only so much we can do, but there's power in numbers. And if we just do it, what are they going to do? Like, honestly. Also, another, mirroring and leading forward. Mirroring and leading forward. Understanding how to see the mirror for what it is, or even the veil for what it is, I heard. Understanding how to see the veil of spirituality and of the guise of life, for what it is, and how to take it in, understand it and not necessarily absorb it, but transmute it for what it is. And that's another thing I don't know who I was picking up on earlier. Um, but specifically, they do want you to work on transmuting things differently and to research transmutation. And I don't mean go on Google. Like, yes, research like moon phases, planets, things like that on Google, but research within your soul in Akashic records. Um, okay.